Hello, hello, hello. Let me fix the camera. Ah, there we go. All right. Little camera issue there. Hope everyone's sort of good for Monday morning to start off with a camera issue. Good morning, McRangers. Good morning, Ro. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, John. Good morning, Charles. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing this morning? Another busy week in terms of economic releases. Still got earnings going on. So there's lots to look at. Hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Let's get right to it. We'll wait for some more people to come in. We have consumer inflation expectations today and some 3 and 6 month bill auctions. Tomorrow, PPI numbers. And 1 hour before the cash open. Hey, good morning, Ted. So that's going to be important tomorrow. We got Bostic speaking in the afternoon. Then Wednesday is a big, big day. CPI numbers. CPI numbers, again, 1 hour before the cash open. Thursday, we also have, not just jobless claims, but we have retail sales. Retail sales on Thursday, which will tell us again, give us insight into consumer and see how that's going. You got some Philly Fed numbers. And Friday, we got consumer sentiment numbers, the preliminary numbers for August. So that's where we sit right now. We've been rallying back a little, not past the key levels yet, on at least a closing basis, not even hit the 50% levels. But it's also been a very low volume, very low liquidity snapback rally. So, but again, it's all going to depend, especially on what comes out Wednesday. Lots of green this morning. Nvidia bouncing all the chips besides Qualcomm bouncing. Oil moving on up. Let's just take a look at the sectors. We got energy, technology, everything positive today. Everything positive today. Fed watch. It's now at 51% for just a single cut in September. So the double cuts at least below 50% again, but then you have it all the way back down, like what, a double cut in November? Oh, these markets, so funny. A week ago, remember, people were calling for emergency 50 or 75 cut, and now the market just, did it even finish last week down? Fear and greed, still an extreme fear. Schiller PE, 34.47, still very expensive. In terms of earnings this week, nothing much this morning. What do we have? We have the big ones for me, Home Depot tomorrow morning. Home Depot, Cisco, which also announced layoffs. We got that Wednesday after the close. We got Applied Materials Thursday after the close. We got Walmart before the open on Thursday. So those are some of the biggies for me this week. Again, tomorrow, Home Depot before the open and the PPI numbers. So that's going to be the focus tomorrow morning. Good morning, Legion Reaver. Good morning, Royal Palms. Hopefully it's hunky-dory again. Christoph, thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Anissa. All right, so just one thing to keep in mind, the volume. Here's the volume. Look at this. We had the sell-off volume. Yeah, the last little sell-off volumes have a lot of volume, but look at this volume. Look at the volume drop off on Thursday, even with the Thursday rally. Look at the volume just drop off drastically. I mean, I know it's August, but after like the event to start last week. By the way, you know, it started where it closed last Friday, and where it closed, it was just down slightly. For all that panic, we got to cut. Oh, wait, we're nearly back to break even. And now we're above last Friday. So, does that mean we got cycles still going up? Does that mean I'm overly bullish yet? No. As I said, I'm still watching for rollover plays unless we can get the close above 54.95.75. And we're approaching a very key level. We're in the rotation zone in the 50% retracement. I'm just going above. It's technically 54.20. I'm watching 54.20 to about 54.37 on a continued push higher. Good morning, Jacob. We got daily cycles still going up. Weekly cycles still at the bottom. We could still see another potential rollover play. However, if we do not get it by about midweek, we could be at cycle bottom, and then if it falls through above that 54.95 on the daily closing basis, we could potentially retest. The high area from mid-July, and overall, that could set us up. I mean, it's still early because we could roll over with the CPI numbers before then, but that could set us up for a major potential double top or even break out to new highs. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's why just 54.96, just watch that on the closing basis. Today, where there was selling pressure, there was turning into some buying pressure on Friday. So you see, really my key level for today is about 53.20 on any pullback, and going into the open, it's 53.60, 53.55 to 53.60. If we break out in the open, again, my first target 54.20. NASDAQ. The key target for me before the 50% is about 18,950, prior key breakdown area. All right. So also remember, NASDAQ closed technically up from the prior Friday's close last week. So again, recovered all the losses where people were in a panic. But the key level for the NASDAQ, 19,621.50, needs to get through on a closing basis. There's still massive overhead resistance. The key support level on any bigger pullback, I'm watching 18,400, and the minor level into the open is about 18,580. The Dow, which triggered this double from last week, it's a little sloppy on the lower time frames because of this, it's almost a horizontal channel. But we'll use these as targets for the upside. And this is especially the first one, this 40,100, which is the key breakdown zone. All right, the 50% area is also around this 40,100. Then that's a 50% retracement from the down move. So that's the key thing. And support coming in about 39,567. Hey, Coco, how are you today? When is Iran attacking? It could be this week. Could be this week. Are they going to directly hit Israel? So we're going to find out. That could also, oil snapping back. We'll take a look at oil in a second. Oil completed the double bottom pattern. Russell's not been able to get much traction. The key levels I'm looking at is about 2,115, and then the major level is 2,156. So that's the upside. Support I'm looking is about 2,065. VIX all the way back down to 20. Look at this. Look at this. Couldn't even sustain anything. Again, we have this low liquidity, low volume snapback rally so far. Very low volume. Even for August. So for all the panic, definitely still low. Just the liquidity is not there yet. That's what's put me to cautious mode also. DAX, we're almost back to this 17,950 area. So I'm still watching for rollover plays potentially here. In order for me to get bullish in the DAX, though, on any continued basis, You can see that's roughly that. Look at the where it is 18,000 just above that. It's a 50% retracement from the highs back in mid-May. And look at this other breakdown zone right here is a 62.5, 18.3. So I'll still be watching for rollover plays in the DAX unless we close above 18,300. Not much to talk just yet about the notes. These will get a move on starting tomorrow and Wednesday. Yields. Little spike reversal, little percent beat buy last Tuesday. That's stalling out in the rotation zone. So the key levels I'm watching are the highs and lows from last Thursday. That's what I'm watching in here. The 10-2s back below zero. But remember, this is a long process. We closed above zero last week. And now just retesting the prior breakout zone. The prior, come on. Let me pull my level over. There we go. Breakout retesting. So, coming into a lot of support here. Dollar index, we've still only hit the first official target. The only thing to invalidate this double is at this point, it's got to get above 104.52. Otherwise, still watching for potential rollover plays in dollar index. Crude. We completed the little double bottom on Friday. Now, we're coming into a very key resistance area. A very key resistance area based off of here. The 50%, the 200, a prior key top area, 78.10 to about 78.40. The only thing now, this is where I will, from a teaching perspective, if there's anything still being held with the double, this would be an area I would aggressively raise stops. And if it manages, like again, if Iran were to attack, this could easily pop back through 79.70, and then, you know, the next target, the 82.91. So that's the only thing. But other than that, I'd aggressively raise stops in here from my perspective because it's closing in on a key rollover zone. Not much. Going to be watching to see if this forms a inverse head and shoulders on natural gas. Gold, still nothing. Going to watch today just from this little pullback move to see if gold falls through 2,478 on a closing basis to retip it to retesting the highs back from last week. Or the week before, sorry, the Friday before. Silver, still watching for rollover plays in here after hitting the first target from the double. Copper, still nothing. Copper, still nothing. Watching for rollover plays there. Interesting enough, the yen. Yen, after all the strengthening from the rate hike, now they're essentially back in pause mode for a long time. So the next key target area on the yen is 151.80. The 151.80, maybe just in front of that, 151 to 151.80. Key support now 146.80. Let's see here. Bitcoin, not much to talk about unless it closes back above 64,540. Ethereum, we still have the double playing out after hitting the first target, so still watch for rollover plays there. Spiders and the Qs, the key levels to remember on the spiders, 537.75, and then on a closing basis, 544.58. The pullback level supports about 529.50. The Qs, the key level, really pay attention to 458.29 on a continued rally. That's the first key level. And then we're looking at about 462.75, and on a closing basis, 473.49 puts this back into probabilities for retesting, but we're not anywhere close to that yet. We got Tesla. Still no official close below the 62.5, but I am looking for rollover plays there. Nvidia did close below the 62.5, so the probabilities have shifted, and I'm watching for the retest of the 200. But we need some market weakness to come in. Key resistance for me is now about 111.50. What else? I mean, that's really where we stand. We got Home Depot tomorrow. Home Depot earnings is in a huge consolidation pattern. Really, look at this. Here's the last earnings announcement back in May. And we've gone a whole lot of nowhere. We're virtually trading the same level a quarter later. Look at that. Gone a whole bunch of nowhere, but is there a great pattern? No. No, there's not. So the key support level is about 330. The key very strong resistance is 371. Other than that, it needs something major to happen to break out of that range. So that's where we sit with all that. Other things, we had the Cisco, remember, announcing layoffs 4,000 to 8,000. Cisco also closed below 62.5, bounced back, closed it multiple times below 62,000, only managed to bounce back to 50%. Watching for rollover plays in Cisco also. So just keeping that in mind. Other than that, there's not much to talk about. Let's just peek in on the S&P. Going into the open, this 53.90 is the key resistance going into the open, and a break above that, minor would be 5,400, then really focus that, from my perspective, on that 54.20 to 54.37 area. On any pullback, you can see here the very strong support shelf back at 53.55 to 53.60 on a pullback. That's where we sit. I hope everyone has a wonderful trading day and trading week. Do not forget about the PPI numbers tomorrow. And I will talk to everyone later. Bye for now.